Alright guys, J-Minerrr here, back with another video. And if you're here for the first time, I'd like to say welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're going to get up to 1,000 subscribers quicker than we got up to 500. We're also going to do a giveaway at 1,000 subscribers as well. We'll be giving away an Asus Prime Z390P motherboard. Okay, so we got up to 500 pretty quick. Let's go ahead and get up to 1,000 even faster. Alright guys, so make sure you subscribe, make sure to share the content with your friends, and make sure you always stay tuned to the videos. Alright, today's video we're going to do an unboxing. As you can see, I got a little bit of a surprise in here. We're going to hopefully have some goodies in here, or we'll see what's in here. I think I might know what's in here. I've got one of them up there, but we'll see. Alright, let's open it up together. Oh, that is pretty. I like that. All right, guys. You guys ready? All right. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is. Nice and padded and protected. Okay. All right. See what we got here. All right, looks like we got what's called the MineBox 8 Industrial. Okay guys, the difference about this MineBox 8 and the MineBox 12 that I have, I'll let you guys see it on all four sides, is that the MineBox 12 is actually a little bit smaller distance. It's made for smaller cards. It has a smaller distance. This has a built-in motherboard, and it's a riserless motherboard, and I'll take the top off for you guys so you guys can see. And the distance in between, I've got one that takes 12 cards, that black one up there, and the distance in between the slots where you put the cards is much more narrow on my MineBox 12, and I'll show you guys that one as well. What this is an all-in-one rig. So all you guys have to do is, if you happen to purchase one of these, is all you got to do is throw your cards right in. It comes with a power supply built in. It actually comes with the CPU and everything you need in here. So it's basically just almost plug and play. And you just actually mount the cards right in onto the board. It's actually one solid riserless board. The risers are actually built into the motherboard. And yeah, it's actually pretty cool, pretty neat. I can't wait to actually hook some cards up here. And the reason I bought this variation is it holds 8 cards. But as I said, the main thing is the distance in between the slots here. And you'll be able to see it better once I go ahead and take the lid off. The distance in between the slots on this one is 65 millimeters. And that means that it can actually fit a 3070, 3080s, and 3090s in this one. Now my other one, I did not try to put a 3090 in there, but I could just look and tell, and I could tell that the GPU, the distance in between the slots on the GPU just was not going to be far enough to put cards that are thick in there. Now, if you have some 3060 XCs, oh, perfect. You can fit 12 of those in there, no problem. And to be honest, that's what I think I am going to do with the MineBox 12, is I'm going to put 12 3060 Ti's in it. If, that's a big if I can fit the For the Win 3 editions in there. Because the For the Win 3 editions are much larger cards than the XC3. So that may be the deciding factor, is if I can get it in there, if I can get all 12 cards in there. Now, the alternative is I could always do 6 cards. 6 of the bigger cards in there, but that was my purpose in ordering this, is I could fit 8 3090s in here, and they wouldn't take up much space, because as we all know, and somebody did comment in the last video, he's like, you're probably not going to be able to fit 7 3090s on there. And he may be right. I don't know yet. I didn't try. We were going to do that, and then this happened to come in the middle of it. So I decided to actually just hold up for a second and open this up, because we might just actually scratch that 3090 build and actually put the 3090s into here. Okay, now this is what I wanted to show you guys. This is a really neat server style case rig. Okay, like as you can see, it comes with a power supply already in here. So you got a 2500 watt power supply already built in. Okay, and then you've obviously got all your PCIe cables here, and then this is your riserless motherboard. Okay, so this is pretty cool because the distance between these is 65 millimeters. So between each PCIe slot is 65 millimeters. So I should be able to fit 8 3090s in here. Okay, it actually said that you can fit 8 of the 3070, 3080, 3090, 6700, 6700 XT, 6800 series. So that's what I'm gonna try to do here. And oh guys, as you can see, we're looking at this riserless motherboard. Everything is all in one. I don't know if you guys can see the CPU back in there, but the CPU is right back inside there, if that gives you guys a better view of this. You got the fans built right into here. They look like pretty decent fans. I did power up the other one that I got, and that one actually sounded really good. Like the fan sounded really powerful, really nice. And the thing about this is, the sweet thing about this is you're actually saving space with this, because I can fit like more of these on a shelf than I can fit a regular standard GPU rig with the frame open air GPU rig. So this is what I like about this, saving space, because obviously the more rigs you can fit in a room, the more money you can make. So and they do generate heat as well. So the more you can kind of keep that heat kind of enclosed, and this with the top on it keeps the heat enclosed. I actually have seen on the internet where if you keep the top off, the cards actually heat up more, because of the way this is designed to exhaust the hot air out of it. Okay, so like, yeah, I don't know why. It's just like they're actually designed to exhaust the hot air out, I believe. So yeah, we'll see how it works, man. It looks pretty cool. I have seen them run online, but my other one is actually black. It looks a little bit, this actually looks neat, just like the titanium. They call this the MineBox 8 Industrial, or the large. So I'll leave a link to it in the description below. So if you guys want to check it out, I think I paid like $627 or $650 for it after shipping. So it was a pretty good deal. I think it was a decent deal. So what I plan on doing with this, guys, is I plan on going ahead and throwing the 83090s, the 7 I have in my possession, 73090s in there, and I do have another 3070 that I may just go ahead and throw in there, just to make it a full 8 GPUs. Okay, and we'll fire this thing up and we'll see how it runs. To be honest, the other one, I hadn't threw any GPUs into it yet, and the only reason why I hadn't thrown any GPUs in it yet is because I was actually going to wait until I got some GPUs that were going to actually fit inside of it, because I had noticed that the MineBox 12, the distance in between the slots was a little bit, I just knew from knowing the GPUs that they wouldn't fit. Okay, so for this particular MineBox here, it's the MineBox 8 in large industrial. Okay, and it's gonna come in this silver color if you guys do order it. It does have a 2500 watt power supply. Okay, and it can also take AMD or NVIDIA graphic cards. Now, the GPU size that it can fit is 340 millimeters long and up to 65 millimeters thick. So it's 340 millimeters this long and up to 65 millimeters distance in between each PCIe slot. Okay, now the case is 740 millimeters wide, by 395 millimeters deep by 175 millimeters in height. Okay, so the CPU inside this guy is an Intel Celeron G630. Okay, and then the RAM, it's actually got DDR3 4GB RAM. It's got a 60 gigabyte MSATA. Okay, that's right here, you guys. That was the MSATA is right. Oops. The MSATA is right here. You guys can see. Okay, and then the motherboard is a B75. It's a 16X. You got 16X cables for you can hook up all your 6+2 pin cables. They're all 6+2 here on the power supply. That's a 2500 watt. And like you got 4 of the 120 millimeter fans. They say there's 6 to 12,000 RPM cooling fans, but like I said, the other ones are pretty decent. But the main thing is that the distance in between the GPUs, it's for the 3080s, 3090s, the 5700s. That similar to that series. As I said, the distance is 340 millimeters long and up to 65 millimeters thick. So the distance in between the PCIe slots. Now, I'll actually show you guys the other MineBox 12 quick here, and we'll kind of compare the two, and you guys can see the distance in between the MineBox 8 PCIe slots and then the MineBox 12 PCIe slots. Give me 1 minute, I'll get the MineBox 12 down. Alright guys, now as you guys can see here, this is the MineBox 12. Okay, this is the MineBox 12 here, and I'm going to show you guys with this one here, the distance, and this one is super cool too. But this one, the difference inside the PCIe slots, you see the difference in the distance? I'm sorry. Do you see that? Yeah. You see, this can hold 12 cards here. Okay? And the distance is much more narrow of a distance between the GPUs, the PCIe slots for the GPUs. So, you know, I knew I wasn't going to be able to get 12 full-size 30 series cards in here per se. Well, maybe I could get the 3060 Ti XCs or 3070 XC3s, but I don't think I could get 12 of the For the Win 3 edition cards in here. I just don't think I could. I don't know. Maybe I could. I haven't tried yet, but I think I'm going to go ahead and try to do that because I don't have 12 of the XC3s. I'm a fan of the For the Win 3 edition. I love the For the Win 3 edition. Very dependable card. It's like, yeah, I love the XC3 edition. Now, the difference in this MineBox 12, and this is the MineBox 12, okay, is it does have a 2500 watt power supply, but the GPU size is only 300 millimeters long. 300 millimeters long and up to 44 millimeters thick. So you only got 44 millimeters in distance in between these PCIe slots. And that is the difference in between there. Now, this also has a Intel Celeron processor, but it's a G3900 in here. Okay, and then the RAM, it's DDR3 4GB, and it's a 60 gigabyte MSATA right here. Then the PCIe slots, of course, there are 12 of these because it'll hold 12 cards. But the motherboard in this one is actually different than this one. The motherboard in this one is an Anda. Okay, this is an Anda B250. Okay, and then you've got 24 of the 8-pin cables on this one. Okay, and this one is still 4 of the 120 millimeter 4,000 RPM cooling fans. So that's the difference between the MineBox 12 here and the MineBox 8. I'm not actually sure why they both didn't come with the Anda motherboards. I don't know. For sure, this one is an Anda B250 though. We can actually see that right here. And that one doesn't have the Anda logo on it for some reason. But if you guys want to check this out, these are what these look like. This is the MineBox 12, and I'll leave a link to both of these in here. And this is the MineBox 8 Industrial, okay? All right, guys, so what we're gonna do is we are gonna boot these up. I've already booted this one up and actually plugged the monitor into it, and it boots right up. This one is running Windows, but I'm actually gonna change out the mSATA and actually put Hive OS on here. So, and that's what I plan to do here if this one has Windows on it, but I actually requested that this one have Hive OS on it. At the time that I ordered this one, they said that they weren't in the shop due to COVID, so they couldn't throw Hive OS on it, which is no problem. I'm just gonna change out the mSATA on it and then throw in an mSATA that already has Hive OS booted on there. I'm gonna burn an mSATA with Hive OS on it. In fact, the mSATA burner that I have here is right here. So yeah, I'm just gonna burn a new mSATA and throw Hive OS on it. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to give you guys the difference, show you guys a little bit of review. I'm not sponsored or anything for the MineBox 12 here, and then the MineBox 8 Industrial Large here. Okay, this one was about $850. Okay, and this one was about $650. So $850, $650, MineBox 12, MineBox 8 Large Industrial. Difference is GPU size. You've only got 44 millimeters of distance and up to 40 millimeters here, as opposed to much more. You got 65 millimeter distance. I'm sorry, 65 millimeter distance in between here. And as you can see, the distance in here is way taller than the distance in between if you had, you know, plug a card in here and then you're gonna hit the fan here. So yeah, there it is. Just wanted to give it to you guys 100%. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, make sure you hit that like button. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers even quicker than we did 500. We are going to be giving away Asus Prime Z390P motherboard for 1,000 subscribers. Not sponsored by Asus, sponsored by me, J-Minerrr. Appreciate you guys for tuning into the channel. We are going to throw some cards in this rig, so let's get to it. I'll see you guys on the build. Peace. J-Minerrr out. And money does grow on rigs.